Well, hello everyone. I have decided to make this video, which is going to be quite a bit different from any other videos I've made in the past. If you've watched any of my other videos before, I normally talk about my experiences abroad or learning other languages. However, as we all know, due to a series of very obvious and unfortunate events, I have decided to make this video today. I live in Elmhurst, Queens, which is one of the most affected neighborhoods right now during this whole coronavirus crisis. As far as my daily routine is concerned, not much has really changed. I'm a teacher. I teach English online. So in some ways I'm privy to a lot of information that maybe the average American wouldn't be, because I'm talking to people online all day from literally, it could be any country in the world. So I'm having a lot of contact with many different kinds of people, and it's been really interesting to see how each country has handled this crisis. Anywhere from Russia to Spain to Italy. I know lots of people in Italy. I have lots of contacts, distant relatives. For weeks prior to this big wave of cases that's hit my neighborhood, I've been hearing and seeing things. People have been messaging me, begging me not to go out, begging me to be careful and take precautions, that I don't know what's coming, that this is something that you can't underestimate. In some ways, I knew that this was coming long before it did, and I'm thankful for that, but I'm also dealing with a lot of complex emotions involved with this crisis. Amongst those, I'm sure you can imagine, are sadness, frustration, certainly cabin fever, being locked inside all day. But some of the most complex emotions I'm dealing with are actually this feeling of not being able to do anything, knowing information and not being able to share that with other people because people just don't listen. And certainly I'm dealing with a lot of anger and frustration that there are a lot of people who still believe that this is a hoax, that there are a lot of people that still believe that this is conspiracy. What really inspired this video today was because I was reading through a couple posts on Facebook. I came across a friend's post insinuating that this was a conspiracy, a massive conspiracy. And one of the comments read this: "I challenge anybody to go to your closest hospital and tell me there are hundreds dying of the China virus. We're getting played. I don't need to take your challenge." Let me tell you something. I live in Elmhurst, Queens. My neighborhood is one of the most affected neighborhoods in the country, and certainly one of the most affected neighborhoods in the world. I live 4 blocks from Elmhurst Hospital. Yes, the hospital that you've probably heard about in the news that's had many deaths, has been undersupplied, where nurses and doctors have been overworked, are lacking supplies to properly care and sanitize for these people that have been infected with this disease. Grocery stores here actually limit how many people can go into the stores at a time. Not only that, but they hand out gloves and masks to people entering the stores. The sound of the ambulance is so persistent that sometimes it's actually hard to get good rest. So when I read comments like this, it makes me realize that there's actually a lot of people out there that believe this to be a conspiracy or believe this to be a hoax of some sort. It's easy to believe in such a thing when you're not personally affected, right? Or when you don't maybe know somebody that's been personally affected or somebody who's been sick. I stepped outside today to just grab a couple eggs, a couple other grocery items, small grocery items, and the grocery store, the supermarket that I normally go to, is completely shut down. I'm sure that they had to take some precautions there. Perhaps somebody was infected, and in order to control things, they've decided to close the store. With that said, I ventured out to grab eggs from the local bodega down the street, and in doing so, I saw numerous ambulances, police officers, firemen, in just those 5 minutes that I stepped outside to grab a couple grocery items. I think what's frustrating me the most is the idea that we live in this country and so many of us, we don't trust our government. We don't trust the media and the sources that are coming out. I understand that. I totally understand that there's a lot of misinformation coming from many sources. However, it's always easy to ignore something when you're not personally affected by it. At least for my friends and those who follow me on social media or know me personally, you can no longer say that you don't know somebody who's been affected by this disease. As with all social issues, just because it's not part of your experience doesn't mean it doesn't exist. This isn't something that I wanted to talk about necessarily, but given the amount of people that still believe this to be fake, and the amount of people that still believe this to be some nonsense that the media is spreading, it's not. I assure you it's not, because I go to sleep with the sounds of the ambulance every single night and have been for weeks now. Thanks again for taking time to watch this video. I think this is really important, and please stay safe, stay home, do your part. We'll get through this.